Hi guys, and welcome to episode 3 of Unicorn Eventing. And today I thought I would walk you through my pretty much everyday grooming routine. If not every day, then I really try to do it 2 or 3 times a week, and then it means that both the girls are clinic and show ready, any day of the week. I will also do another vlog on trimming them and keeping their manes and tails as tidy as possible, because that also takes a little bit of maintenance, but that's not an everyday job. That's maybe a once a month job, and I try and plan that around my competitions or my clinics. So Peaches here has just been for a hack, and she's a little bit sweaty, but not crazy sweaty. Oh, I'm having a chat. So yeah, Peaches is a little bit sweaty, but not dreadfully sweaty. And she is a sensitive soul, so she does get rashes quite easily. And the way that I manage that is after she has been worked, if she's not dripping in sweat and needs to be cooled down, I tend to wipe her down with a mixture of water and very dilute Botanica, which is all natural good stuff, and it's really calming on their skin, and it cuts through grease and sweat, so it's brilliant. Gets her coat really clean without totally soaking her, because I find if I soak her, she is more likely to have a rash, but it's not that predictable what she gets the rashes from, which is a bit of a pain, but we just try and keep on top of it. So every day I grease their hooves without fail, try and keep them in as best condition as possible, especially in the dry weather we're having at the moment. And I tend to grease them either first thing in the morning or about an hour before they go out in the field. So that's what I did today. They were greased just when I was grooming them before they went out in the field. And now I'm just wiping Peaches over with my Botanica wash, which really helps her keep her coat and her skin in as best condition as possible, and makes my life and her life hopefully as comfortable as possible. She does not like having her lady bits done when she's not in season, so that was that stroppy moment there. But there's a lot of stroppy moments when you're a Peaches. So here is Bluebell. I'm just picking out her feet so that I can grease them. And I grease the underside of their feet as well, so their frog and their sole, and then the whole hoof wall that you can see, just to keep everything in as tip-top condition as possible. And Bluebell is only a 3-year-old, so I think everybody will agree she is amazingly well behaved. She ties up, she picks up all her feet, she deals with Peaches pulling horrible faces at her. She will let me grease her feet. She's not got shoes on. She has had shoes on in the past, but I took them off when she arrived with me, so she could have a holiday and her feet could relax a bit. And here I am doing her tail. I always keep their tails and their manes really well conditioned. The mane is a bit of an issue when I want to plait Peaches, so I will stop conditioning it with a leave-in conditioner maybe a week before I have to plait it, so that it's not super slippery. But because they wear fly rugs in the field and they have necks on, and I obviously don't want their manes to rub out, I use serum in their mane as well as detangler in their tail. Just rubbing her down with a rubber curry comb, which is the first part of my grooming routine, and that's really good for getting any crispy, crusty bits off, and just giving her coat a really good rub down, and her getting all her skin, the blood pumping to her skin. And now I'm using brush number 1. Give her a really good rub down. You can see that I'm not being crazy soft. I'm using a little bit of force with it, so it stimulates the muscle and the fascia, gets her lymph drainage going, gets the blood circulation going. And so she gets rubbed down 4 separate times within a grooming session with the curry comb, and then I use 3 different brushes, which all have different jobs. They're the Haas brushes. They are amazing. I really love them. And I use them in the order that I'm told to use them, and I think they make a huge difference by getting the grease and the scurf and the dirt and the dust up from the skin and bringing them to the surface, and then you just wipe them off. You can see Peaches is pretty cross about Bluebell being tied up outside her stable. She's quite a territorial mare. They go out in the field together and they love each other. But yeah, tie something up outside Peach's stable and she will be cross. So you can see Bluebell, she does enjoy being groomed. She's a very, very good girl. And yeah, she's just having a nice rub down. This is really good for bonding with her and building trust and just getting her to, you know, enjoy spending time with her human friends as well as her horse friends, because there's not a lot a 3-year-old can do, but she can definitely be groomed. So nice brush out of her tail. I'd like to wash her tail and get it looking white, but because I'm on my own at the yard and I don't have anybody to help me, I'm quite wary about just tying her up in the wash bay in case she didn't enjoy it. And then I'm sort of stuck with a 3-year-old who's not having a nice time being bathed. So I thought there's absolutely no rush. I will probably leave it a couple of weeks till I try doing that in our new home. And the final element of my grooming routine is sponging the girls over in Goodbye Flies, which is a coat conditioner and a fly repellent. And you just sponge it on, so there's no spraying involved, which the girls do not. Well, Bluebell really doesn't enjoy the spray sound. So yeah, just damp sponge it on, and it's really good. So at the moment I'm doing it every single day, and once I've done it for a week every single day, I can get down to doing it 2 or 3 times a week. And I'll just keep an eye on the flies and how much they seem to be bothered, and they really don't seem to be bothered, and they, as I said, they wear lovely fly rugs out in the field. So I just try and keep them as protected as possible, because they go out overnight. The last thing I want is for them to be upset by any flies and to not enjoy their time in the field, because they're out for a significant amount of time in the summer months. So yeah, she's getting a nice little anti-fly and coat conditioner. And you can see she's not that sure about me doing her head, but she does try really hard to be a good girl. I just give her a bit of time and tell her she's okay, and straight away she thinks, oh, yeah, it's not so bad. She is such a good girl for a 3-year-old. She really is phenomenal. I'm very lucky that I found her. Quick kiss and back into her bedroom. And now it's Peach's turn for a full brush off. So she's all dry now, so I didn't get her particularly wet. I just sort of wiped over and scrubbed away at the sweaty bits with my Botanica wash. And yeah, Peaches will have the same thing that I did with Bluebell. She's already had her feet done, so she gets a curry comb first. And Bluebell. I'm yet to find a sensitive horse that doesn't enjoy being rubbed down with that rubber curry comb. It is amazing, because Peaches doesn't like a lot of things, but she really quite enjoys the rubber curry comb. She lets me get all up in her scratches. Quite enjoys herself. So yeah, good brush off with the 3 brushes, and then the curry comb to start with. I just did the tail detangler as well. so she'll have a nice silky tail. And I find when you have a silky tail and you condition their coat, actually the stains really just brush out or scrub out with a damp sponge, not with any real force, which makes my job with 2 greys a little bit easier. There's no miracle cure, but I find if you keep on top of it and try and do a little bit every day, then it doesn't become a huge, crazy job. As Peaches would clean up quite quickly to go to a show, which is always good because there's always going to be a stain or a dirty area. So we try and keep on top of it. So, and here she is having the goodbye flies, and I do it, do their tail hair at the top so that when they swish their tail, that kind of gets blasted around into the air around her. And then, yeah, a lovely rub down with it, get it all in the coat and on the skin. Try and stop any horrible flies from landing on her. In her mane, and then on her face. Now I do turn Peaches out in a fly mask at the moment. She's got slightly weepy eyes, but I do not like leaving them as a rule overnight with a fly mask on, just in case they got it stuck on something. So yeah, really try to not leave them in a fly mask overnight, but unfortunately poor Peach's eyes are a little bit sore, so I didn't really think I had another option at the moment, but hopefully the goodbye flies will stop the flies from wanting to land on her face. So yeah, brush her mane out. She never wants her mane on the right side, so she's going to flip it back in a second once I've brushed it. Great. Brilliant. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all next week. Bye.